back to school advice video, and this is my first back to school video. I'm going to be doing 4 videos in my back to school series, and I'm going to be doing back to school advice, which is this, back to school fashion, back to school makeup, and back to school hair. For the makeup and hair, I'm going to do the makeup that I would wear, maybe not on the first day of school, but something that I think I would usually wear to school. And then the hair is going to be something, I might do like a couple different things that you can do for school, different hairstyles, or what I do, I haven't decided that yet. And for the fashion, I'm just going to do different outfits that I think are good for school and that I recommend for other people to wear, and that I'll be wearing. Okay, so for the back to school advice, the first thing I want to talk about is the first day of school and going into high school. Okay, so I'm going into 10th grade, and when I went into 9th grade high school, I was pretty scared, not like scared, but I was like pretty nervous for the first day of school. And a lot of people have asked me about high school and like what to expect and stuff like that. And I can't really help you if you're going into like 8th grade and middle school, because I don't feel like, if you're going from like 7th to 8th grade, I don't feel like it's much different. I feel like the biggest jump is from middle school to high school. If you are going from like elementary school to middle school, then it's a jump, but it doesn't feel like it's as big as it is from middle school to high school. So I'm going to talk about that. So when I went in my school, I don't know if it's like this for every school, but it was a lot like less intimidating than I thought it was going to be. There was a lot of older people, but I did know some because my sister is a junior. Oh, she's going to be a senior this year. She was a junior, so I knew some people. And it was just, the classes were just like middle school, but I feel like I had more freedom. And the lunches were a little different, and it just was like a little harder. But I really don't think anyone should be worrying about it, because it is a great experience. I think I loved high school my first year, and I liked it a lot better than middle school. More fun, and it's just like less cliquey. I think my high school at least isn't that cliquey, and it's just like there's a lot of people that hang out from like different sports, but it's not like people are like popular and cool. You know what I mean? Like there's band people and like no, like just people that are like in certain clubs, but it's not like as like, people don't associate it to cliquiness, I don't think. And it's just a lot different, I think. And lunch is different, like I said. It's just different in the lunchroom. Different grades sit with each other, in my school at least. And it's just, just really fun and easy to talk to a lot of people, because you're usually in lunches with people in other grades, unless your school's different. And one thing I did find about high school that I did think was harder was, of course, the homework was more for me. But because if you take like pre-AP classes in high school, which I did, I took 3 last year, and I'm going to be taking 4 this year. But last year I only took 3, and I actually thought freshman year was pretty easy. It wasn't, I had like a lot of hard projects and stuff, but it was never like I was so overwhelmed and like, this is ridiculous. I never thought it was too hard. So if you're going to freshman year, you don't have to be worried about having like too hard of work, but you do need to study for your tests, because I think there was a couple times I forgot to study, and man, it is not good, because then you're like looking at your tests and you're like, what is this? Something that helps me with tests is to get a back to school planner, and that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, is getting a back to school planner. This one has from August to July, so it's just like a flowery print, August to July. And oh, by the way, someone told me to straighten my hair in one of my videos. That's why I straighten, just to let y'all know. And so it's really cool, because when you open it up, it has the yearly overview of all the years and the months from 2010 and 2011, and then it has personal information that you can fill out, an emergency, and extra information. And then it starts off with the whole month, the first month, the whole month in like just a regular calendar form. But then it has it like each day, so that it has like, the lines and stuff. And it does that for the rest of the book. And this is just super, super duper easy to, what did I do? Super easy to, write your homework in, write what tests you have, and maybe you can write it in this first calendar. If you get one like this, like in this first calendar right here, you can like write when your test is. And then you can write on here, like, to study for your test, like, the day before and stuff. And I guess you can write your test is on this day and stuff like that, too. But these are very, very helpful. And I find that in high school, I didn't really like binders, but you might have to get them for school. Because, I like small stuff, so I can have, like, a smaller backpack and not so much to carry. Because some classes you have to carry your books around. And, oh wait, I forgot, some high schools have lockers. See, my high school doesn't have lockers, so we have to carry our backpacks around everywhere, which is kind of annoying, but, So I like getting smaller stuff, stuff that isn't as heavy, and, like, folders, which isn't heavy at all. And, my pencil bag and stuff like that. And then I bring, like, my phone, my iPod, I bring my gym bag for school, so I have my makeup bag in there and sprays and stuff because I have to get ready before school during cross-country season, which I hate because it's so annoying. I don't even know, but it is. So, okay, more back-to-school advice. Let's get on to that. Okay, so another thing for back-to-school advice, other than studying for your test and putting your homework and your test in here, and not to worry, like I said, about the first day of school, or about anything, just to feel really confident, like go in there and just feel like you're going to have a really good school year, you're going to have a great day, just go in there with a positive attitude, because if you go into school and you're like, oh, I'm nervous, and you're kind of like putting your head down a little bit and not looking, you can like say hi to people and talk to people and try to meet new friends. It's so much easier when you talk to people, because people will talk to you more, and it's just better because you'll meet more friends and it'll just be more fun for you. But if you don't like try to meet new friends and you don't have any friends in your classes and you're just quiet, school can be really terrible because it's not fun when I don't have anyone to talk to or any friends in my classes, and then I don't even make any friends. That hasn't really happened before, where I don't have anyone in my classes I can talk to, but at the beginning of the year it definitely has, and I didn't talk to some people. Like, I didn't really talk to people, but after like a week or so, I started talking to more people, and it's so much better when you actually talk to people, because it's just way better. Okay, so be confident, talk to people, plan, all that stuff. Another back to school advice, this has really nothing to do with actual school, but for getting ready, you should try to maybe like plan the night before what you're going to wear, and maybe like decide what makeup you want to wear, and like decide what shoes and everything like that, so that you can get more sleep, because it really is good to have more sleep when you're going to school, because you need your brain to be all rested up. And me going into being in cross country in the morning, I have to wake up even earlier, and so doing stuff the night before is just so much better. It's just a lot better. And it just helps so much because you can just wake up and put your clothes on and then just have breakfast or whatever you do, and then do your hair and your makeup, and you're done. Like, that's it. And it doesn't really take me that long. Unless you take a long time on your hair all the time, that's a totally different story, but I can't really help you there. But you should definitely plan on stuff like that. So another tip I think for schooling is, I think that people should bring their lunches more, because some people like always get school lunches, but really the school lunches are not healthy at all. Like, sure, there's some salads and stuff like that, but I think people should be more go and do and get food from the stores, and you're saving money, number one, most of the time, unless you have financial issues and you get your lunches for free or something like that. But most of the time you save money, you have healthier lunches, you get what you want, and you don't always have to have fried food and all that blah. But see, our school this year is expanded. They moved our high school, so it's a different school. It's totally different for me, so it's going to be a little nerve-wracking. But it is, going to have more lines, so it might have more food choices. So if you are going to eat in school, I would make a healthy choice, because food really, it affects your whole life. It affects how your body looks, it affects your skin, it affects your nails, it affects everything. Oh, and by the way, this is Sinful Colors in Aqua, because I think people wanted to know in my last video that I had it on. So, yeah. Okay, well, I really hope that all this advice was good, and I don't know if it was kind of like rambly and messed up, because I didn't really plan it. I just kind of, wanted to talk about this stuff and just talked about it. And I hope this helped at all. And if you have any questions at all about high school, because I wouldn't be too worried about it, it's really not as bad as you think. Unless there's like bullies, but you can always like ask your friend for help, or tell teachers or do something about that. But if you have any questions or ever during the year need to talk to me about anything's going wrong, then you can always message me here on Facebook, or you can leave a comment down there if you have any questions, because I will answer anything. And I always answer my my YouTube messages. And if I don't answer it for a couple days, it's probably because I just forget about some of the messages, but I'll always answer them. So if you send me a message, I will answer you. Okay, well, see you guys later. Bye.